and Landon's room is here right away. He says, I'm back. Welcome back, Landon's room. We're working on the Ninjago theme build, the Dragons Rising theme of Ninjago, set 71814. This is the Tournament Temple City. Can you tell? Does it look like a city? It's like a city built like a pagoda tower, so at least that's how I would describe it. Four layers, including like the ground or bedrock kind of tunnel there. And I think that is what I am building here. Yesterday I was trying to figure out on the live stream. This is the structure we left off with going into bag 4. I think there's 32 bags. I went, excuse me, I went through, there's 2 boxes, like there's the main box and then inside there was another box. And the bags were, from my looking at things, randomly put inside. Like, I thought the larger number bags were in the main box, but no, there was like bags 1, 3, 4, and 5 in this side, but then bag 2 was in another box, and then there wasn't evens or odds or anything. It was just all thrown in there. So anyway, when you get these big sets, you never know what you're in store for in terms of organization. I always try to think there's some logic to how these Lego sets are, you know, organized by bags. Sometimes it makes sense, other times I'm not sure. And then bag 3 and 4 were partially finishing this part of the build. And so we'll see what bag 5 brings. We'll see if we can get to bag 5 and work through it. So good to see you. Hey, Landon's room is here. Rick is back. Rick May, welcome back. John Powell, excellent. We got our moderator, John Powell, here. That is always a good thing. What have I missed, says Rick May. And BC Boy says, yo, what's up? Long time no see. True, indeed. Glad to see you guys come back. Leave a like, don't forget to like. And if you catch this channel and you're wondering what's going on, we're building Lego. This is the channel, Brick Therapy 23. There's the channel logo. And I kind of have a fun thing. I need to post a short about our Brick Therapy 23 logo. You'll see what I mean when I post a short, but this guy has been replicated. It's kind of fun. But yeah, we're building 71814. If you were wondering what is going on, Rick says, what have I missed? I've gotten up to bag 4 of this set. There's 32 bags, I believe. So actually there might be 33. Like I said, the bags were kind of dispersed randomly from what I can tell. So that's what's going on. And BC Boy says, I hit 1,000 on TikTok. I'm super happy. Very cool, Beastie Boy. Let's go. What is your channel all about there? That is one medium I don't use, so you'd have to inform me on that one. But kudos to the content that you're doing, man. So let's see. I think they left off with bag 4 and this cool looking, obviously it's Ninjago, so it's always got some cool looking contour in the build itself. And let's see what it brings as we go through this. Oh yes, thank you, John Powell. Please like and subscribe. This is a family friendly channel and we like to talk Lego. We like to talk about building Lego. We like talking about Lego collections, Lego news, Lego sets. A lot of people have different kind of stories and interactions with Lego itself, you know, whether it's growing up, in my case, a few cool formative years growing up, and then moved away from Lego and then came back with my own family and my kids and then stuck with it ever since. 2018 was like the year to get back into Lego for me as a grown-up fan. BC Boy says, my channel is basically about art, how I progressed in my action figures. Very cool, Beastie Boy, very cool. My brother-in-law is an artist, and a professional artist, and he does a lot of cool content. He has a channel, a YouTube channel as well, and very successful at it. So it's fun to see all these different genres, and yeah, just basically educate people on different types of creative forms, mediums, I guess is the way to describe it. And for us, just love sharing the Lego content and talking with you guys, and then building some really cool sets. And if you follow this channel for a little while, you'll notice that there is definitely no set theme. We've done quite a lot. We started with Star Wars. Star Wars is always a good theme to begin with, and then we went from that to Marvel, and we did the Lord of the Rings sets. We've done modulars. Modulars are probably, you know, the most, I'd say, interesting sets, just because it's kind of Lego at its essence, not really a fictional story, or it's all its own Lego ideas or license, or the Lego creators and the designers, it's like their own, versus like getting the ideas from like a IP or Star Wars or a Marvel or something like that. But Ninjago is also in that theme, like uniquely Lego, and I really enjoy it. Rick says, please join the Discord where we talk about things, post fan art and our creators. Yeah, my son kind of handles the Discord, and so he keeps me posted on that. So yeah, thanks for mentioning the Discord. I am not too savvy with that format. I just like doing this side of things and posting and creating for the channel. So glad to see the community connects through that, grows through Discord also. And welcome to our channel here as we talk about Lego and what's going on. I think kind of the theme that has been repeated, ongoing for the last few live streams for me is what now, what to do now in terms of Lego collecting. And so, like I said, I've been collecting since 2018 in earnest, like getting really into Lego collecting. And so this is like half our collection here, and you can see a variety of themes. Our Star Wars sets aren't really on this table. There's another shelf that if you watch our older live streams, you'll see that collection, or just our older videos. But now it's kind of like, because the price of everything has gone up so much, the cost of so many Lego sets, especially Star Wars. I do like Star Wars. Like in terms of collecting, my long-term goal wish list was to get a UCS set, but man, the prices on those are just insane. And so yeah, we've been talking about what else to do. What are some alternative sets to get? So we'll see. Let's see. Hey, Brooke. Brooke is here. Welcome, Brooke. Good to see you again. I think Brooke's been here before. Brooke here, Aaron. How do you say that? Brooke Kirsten? Or no, Brooke Kieran. Maybe I'll just stick with Brooke. You can correct me if I not saying the full name correctly. But yeah, welcome you guys, and good to see you. I'm trying to, I guess, kind of backtrack a little bit on the build from yesterday, because now it's a lot of gray stone type of looking pieces or pillars or slope pieces, and obviously the color all blends in to the point where if you don't build it all in the same time frame, same day or whatever, then you lose your place. And so I don't want to skip anything. I've been kind of doing that lately with the live streams where I gotta backtrack a lot. So we will see. We got some tall 3-layered snot pieces here. I like to use that terminology now, using the snot pieces to add into this Ninjago build, the Tournament Temple City. So yeah, 2026, there have been a lot of cool themes and sets that have come out. And if you try to keep up with that, I've learned trying to actually didn't really have a plan. When I got back into Lego in 2018, it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna collect Lego and these are the themes I'm going to focus on, and this is my goal, these are my top 10 or whatever. It really became like discovering so much, and living overseas for a while, getting back into Lego while not living in the US. Just it became a fun thing also to bargain hunt and find sets that were really fun to get. And so, or just sets to track down that were used, but the price was good, or sometimes new, and just, resellers, people who got a Lego set for whatever reason, never built it, and then just needed to sell it, or kids didn't want it or something like that. But it became really fun. So like one of the first sets I got, didn't know it existed. Then I tracked it down, so to speak, as the Spider-Man bridge here. This set was so cool because I got that for like the equivalent of about $45, maybe $50 with the exchange rate in euro to dollar. But yeah, that Spider-Man set was it is still a fun build. Like I've rebuilt it several times, and I think originally it was like over $100, and so for whatever reason that set was new and sold at like the equivalent the equivalent of like a Walmart or a Target, at a department store that's probably in several countries in Europe, maybe in Asia too. Carrefour is the name. It's a French department store, or yeah, like a big box store, like a Walmart, but in Europe. And man, I would find Lego deals there. It was fun. We were living overseas when I started to get back into Lego. My younger son was into Nexo Knights, so we'd find really cool Nexo Knight sets for sale, and then get some of those. And then like when it got close to Christmas, the idea of, or even before Christmas, like the idea of Black Friday picked up over there, and then you'd find Star Wars sets on sale. I remember the Millennium Falcon, which one was it? It was the play scale Millennium Falcon, the gray one. I think it's probably the third version, maybe the second version. It's a gray Falcon with, I think it came with Lando Calrissian as the pilot. Let's see, I'm trying to look it up. I think it was, oh yeah, here it is. It was 75257. I think it was, no, it was before this one. This was the third one. So the one, what was it? I think it had a Han Solo. I think it came with a Han Solo, not a Lando. But anyways, it was like, $70. And then the White Falcon came out, the one that was based on the Han Solo movie, that came out. And that was at another big box store in Spain. And then I found that one for like 70 euros. And I would see that at the Lego store there for like double the price, times 1.5 the price at the Lego store. And then here I'd find it at this box store for like, over 50% discount. And that, that happened quite often over there. It was kind of fun to look for Lego sets, kind of bargain hunt. Now, the one set that did not happen with was Ninjago City, and that was the main Lego set, the modular Ninjago City, not this one, but the main modular set. Man, did I want that set. And so that took a while to finally just settle on the fact that just get it through the Lego website. And then that is also about the time after, let's see, I'd gotten maybe 2 sets before that, and then I realized, oh, there's the Lego VIP program, and if you buy sets through that, then you add up your VIP points, now called Lego Insiders program. But that led to then bargain shopping on Lego itself, finding deals that way. Hey, Mage. Mage is here. Good to see you. As I recount my Lego collecting journey thus far in different snippets. So going back to, or now returning to 2026, obviously the Star Wars UCS sets are pretty awesome, and there's others that you don't have to go overboard with the price as there are several versions of a UCS Star Wars set. But of course, the Millennium Falcon is the one that I've talked to a few people who actually own it, and the build, they just love the build. Even though I've heard, other places, I think John Powell told me the build can be quite frustrating depending on, you know, your own experience, your own impression. I think especially with the top panel pieces, and there's a lot of pieces. It's a gigantic set, to be honest, too, and it will take up a lot of space. It definitely needs it needs that display stand that I think you can buy, different versions of, whether it's a non-Lego brand one or whatever. But it still looks pretty awesome. And there's some sets that I would probably say, and others would probably agree. There's certain sets that you're like, if you're a Lego collector, you gotta have certain sets in your collection. So if you go old school, like for going back to early Lego, like early era, obviously sets you cannot find anymore unless you go on a collector website or Bricklink and look there. And you're willing to pay top dollar, but definitely not the price, nowhere near the original price. But so sets like the Yellow Castle or any classic space would be sets, I would say. If you're a Lego collector, you gotta have, a castle set, a classic space set, maybe if you've been a collector for a long time, but definitely a castle set. So of course, those are hard. You can't get those easily anyway. But then, they came out with the Lion Knight's castle a few years ago, just retired. So a lot of people, I don't know, they didn't take advantage of it because it went on sale a couple times. And then this last time it went on sale before Thanksgiving. I want to say it was before Black Friday. It was a pretty good discount, and that thing hit its right price threshold, and people were buying that thing up left and right. It disappeared off the Legos website pretty quickly. So much so that people who had bought it, people had ordered off the Lego website, they missed out. So the ones that I guess bought it at the last minute, they thought they had the purchase in hand, and then were later told their order had been canceled, like no supplies left. So when it comes to marquee sets, one that or a couple that I would add to my collection as a, full-on legit Lego collector would be a Star Wars UCS set, and for sure the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon is like prime or key Star Wars, man. I don't know who, even if you're not necessarily an avid Star Wars fan, you probably know the Millennium Falcon. It's like a character of its own, and it's a ship, right? So that would be a cool set to add to your wish list, or add to your collection, I should say. So that one I've been talking about since the fall, and like, I'm gonna get it this year, and I just can't come to terms with the price. It's, I looked at it used. I would still like to get that set new, but man, that's a hard one. That's $850, so that's a good chunk of money. But then, as I was, thinking, gave a pretty long, hard look at the Titanic set, and that's one that's on my must-have list as well. $200, I think, less than the Millennium Falcon. So obviously, totally different theme and genre and everything, but man, what a cool set that thing is. So just that's the 2026 musings so far, and it's cool to hear what you guys think. John Powell says, yeah, I still have 2 Lions Night castles new in the box, just haven't built one yet. I have one new in the box as well, John Powell. I haven't decided when I want to go for that one. Like when to build that one. That one is definitely, I want to enjoy that set to the max. And I'm not going to leave it sealed in the box. Well, you have two of them, John Powell. So I guess that's kind of a fun thing. No, you got a double inventory of that set. And I already have, like, I have the old yellow castle. I have a couple of the old gray castles. What would those be called? The guards have like black helmets and like a falcon crest on their shields and everything, like black helmets and blue torsos. They're really cool looking minifigs. In fact, like there's been some series of collectible minifigs in recent years where they've had that same design. Actually, both. Also for the yellow castle, the guards, they've released some battle packs. I think, I don't know if they're still there on the Lego website, where you can kind of build up your castle army, so to speak, doing that. So there's definitely some ways to, as you grow your collection, there are definitely some fun ways to augment it even more. Mage says, I'm on bag 23 of the Death Slice. Nice, Mage. Psh, Mage, were you the one who got the knockoff version? I can't remember if you said that yesterday or the day before. I think it might have been you. So you actually figured out the bags, because I know you were saying, like, still trying to figure out how the bags are numbered. Yes, says Mage. What do you think so far? Bag 23. I think in the Lego version, is there like 80 bags, or is it 80 stickers? I can't remember. That number sticks. That number comes to mind. Mage says it's great. Yes, sir. Psh, love it. Okay, that's another UCS set I was contemplating on. It came to mind. I'm like, I kind of like you, Mage. I kind of am fond of the set as it stands on its own merit, not necessarily going back to the expectation that it needs to be a full Death Star shape, like the play scale one. So yeah, I kind of like have an appreciation for that set. Again, Little Bricks, psh, long time no see. Welcome, welcome. So what have you been up to, Little Bricks? I know you were doing or posting some, I think, of your own design. The cars, kind of the Speed Champions cars looking builds. So very cool. I think obviously that theme, they do have the Lightning McQueen, of course, out as an official Lego set. So I would think, any version of a Cars Speed Champion build would be pretty darn popular. And if there's proof, just look at how well the Lightning McQueen sold on the New Year's Day release. 81 bags it is. Okay, so yeah, it's the same as the official one. 81 bags. And Mage, where are you gonna put it when it's built? Or where are you building it right now? Because that is pretty sweet. That might be something to contemplate. But I like how, Mage, you found it, and you found a good price for the version you're building. Are the quality of bricks pretty good then? It sounds like they are, since you're having a fun time building it. That's really cool. Little Brick says, I might be quitting because my SSI is being majorly cut soon. I found out today. So how do those two relate, Little Bricks? Why would you connect those two? Want to quit YouTube? That'd be a bummer. But I mean, hopefully you keep your channel up and like still posting, or still there, basically accessible. But yeah, that's hard if your SSI is getting cut. SSI is the only income I have. Yeah. So if you only have that income, what would make you want to quit YouTube though? That'd be kind of a fun thing if you get your channel to get going. Maybe get it to the point where it's earning some AdSense. But yeah, that does take a lot of work though. Mage says, building on a small desk, putting on my shelf, the bricks are great quality, not the Technic parts to the trash compactor are not the greatest. Yeah, okay, those are parts. I'm trying to think, where did I get that has Technic parts? That's Also, not Lego brand. I got the knockoff version of the Ghostbusters headquarters, the Orthon Tower. Those might have been the big ones. And I got that Fell Beast. But yeah, I want to say there's been some that do have the Technic parts and they just don't fit that great, or they won't. Yeah, they don't have the right connection. So, oh, I got you, Little Bricks. Well, I don't think that should get. I don't think that should hurt your channel. Just, I mean, you have a good sized collection. Honestly, I think it would be just as interesting to talk about what you already have and comment on Lego in general. But yeah, I guess it depends on, you know, how you want to do your content. That can be a challenge. That could definitely be a challenge. So do what Mage does and do some comparisons of the knockoff versions of Lego. That definitely is cheaper. But yeah, if you're on a fixed income, that's just hard. That is hard. Mage says, and the elevator, the elevator sucks. It doesn't work properly so far. Okay, see, that's where, yeah, you get that 90% discount. you get a 10% price. You get 10% of the quality too sometimes. It's kind of funny. But the build though, it's all about the build, Mage. The full build. I bet it's gonna look awesome. You'll have to post a picture of it on our community page if you want to, because I would love to see what it looks like either way. Like the ones I've gotten, the Orthon Tower, I did a video on that, and it turned out pretty good. There's some features I wasn't aware of. Like on the Orthon Tower, the knockoff version, it didn't come with the light up brick. And in the Lego Orthon Tower, there's a light up brick that goes below those, like, if you've ever seen the movies, those seeing eye stones. I think they're called the Palantir, and they look like bowling balls basically in the movie. But yeah, that wasn't even part of the packaging, or in the packaging. So of course, you know, again, when you're paying like 10, maybe 15% of the price, it's like, okay, fair enough. And the light up bricks are cool. I want one light up brick comes with the bar door set, and it lights up the eye, which is probably a pretty key feature. But you know, when you have it on display, it's not like you're using that constantly. So that part is, there's some trade-offs basically. There's some trade-offs with getting those quote unquote knockoff sets. But at the same time, if you want to experience the build and you're like, I don't know about the full price, then my reasoning was try this knockoff set, see if the build is good, and then go from there if you want to get the original or not. Let's see, John Powell says, I know I'm not buying anything, John Powell, for 2026. Although, John Powell, I know you said, I thought you got the astronaut, the upscale blue astronaut. All right, now we're getting into 3 walls to what I believe is the kind of the foundational level to the tournament temple here, tournament temple city, like down there, it looks like a mouth. But I still can't tell 100% if that's where this is all going. And now I have some pin connectors here that obviously extend the footprint of the whole build. So we'll see. The build is pretty sweet though. And in this case, I don't have the compromise here that Mage has with the alt brick. The alt brick situation is not an issue, although I need to make sure. I know it. I skipped a step here. I skipped a step, or no, or did I? Just no. Okay, that goes here. Looks like I need to add. Where did I not see? There's a Technic piece or Technic element here that for some reason I didn't notice, but I don't see it being, this is annoying. It doesn't show you, oh, because I added before it goes onto the top part here. Okay. I don't know. Lately, I've been just missing certain elements here. Yeah, the blue Benny was my big purchase, and I used $34 on points. So yeah, basically you got it for more than half off. That's cool, John Powell. Well, that's 2026. Yeah, I have, so far for 2026, I have the DeLorean, which is that Speed Champion. So that was $29. And the Bricksburg Taxi, and that was also, I used points for that, so that was 15 bucks, but I didn't spend 15 bucks because I just used points on my insider points on that, because I haven't really used insider points lately, and it's like, wow, why spend any more money? And it's a fun build. So yeah, 2026, what am I thinking? The only reason I bring up these bigger sets and whether to like consider it seriously is because the Titanic is retiring, and I'm pretty sure, like Mage, I could find an alt brick version of that set, but I don't know. That one would seem really bad quality to get it, other than the Lego version, of course. You gotta stick with the purity of the Lego for sure on those big sets. And I was thinking yesterday, I mentioned there were some, I think vendors, how John Powell, somebody had brought up how like in the UK, they have better sales sometimes. And I noticed that when I was in Spain for certain sets. So, yeah, I found like big sets like the UCS Millennium Falcon. There used to be a vendor called Zavi, and maybe they still exist. I think it was based in the UK, or maybe it still is, but they stopped advertising deals and sales for Lego a couple of years ago. But that was the one website vendor where I saw they had the Millennium Falcon for sale. I think they had dropped it down to like $600, or pretty low, like a $200 discount at least. But they don't do that anymore. So try Mars Toy for Alt Brick, says Mage. Little Brick says AliExpress has the Titanic for $95. 9,090 pieces. Yeah, that's gonna be a big set. That would be obviously or at least for me, maybe not obvious, but that would definitely be the biggest set I would have built. And I think that's more than, what's the UCS Millennium Falcon? That one is 7,541 pieces. So yeah, the Titanic, although $200 less expensive, has 1,500 more pieces roughly, or 1,400 more pieces roughly. So, and no minifigures, but man, that Titanic looks so good. Just looks like a cool build, something that I would enjoy having on display, never really taking it apart again. I think that would be just a good set to have in the collection. And then yeah, John Powell mentioned yesterday, there's a couple other sets to have in a collection that are just legit. The Daily Bugle and what was it? The Avengers Tower. The Avengers Tower with that helipad platform and everything. That one looks so cool. What was that one? That one comes with like 35 minifigures or so. So that was a set. I just love those big sets when they do something like that, and I know some people are like, minifigures are okay. Man, to me, that's what I enjoyed when I got the Ninjago City set. There's just so much fun. So much fun to go into sets like that. And then to get 35 minifigures. The only thing about the Avengers Tower, and in terms of minifigures, I think is a waste of a minifigure. And I thought, just out of kind of disgust because of how they've tanked their franchise, the MCU franchise, is they have, I think, the producer of those MCU movies as a minifigure. dare I say his name, but I'm like, I don't want that guy as a minifigure. I'd turn him into something else. Let's see. John Powell says Matt from Off by a Stud. Matt from Off by a Stud shows all the sales in the UK on his channel. There you go. Yeah, I think it was Zavi, maybe it's just Zavi, Z-A-V-V-I, or Z-A-V-V-I. Let me see if they still exist. That was where I'd find some pretty good sales for Lego, and then they just kind of stopped. They kind of stopped doing that. I don't know if they lost their. Yeah, they're still out here. Oh, they have a Zavi US website, but I remember anything you bought was definitely imported from the UK. I want to say. Oh no, they still sell Lego. Maybe they just don't do sales anymore. They did some really good sales though. That was where I saw the Millennium Falcon. Although I wasn't willing to spend the money at the time, the price dropped down to like $600 or maybe $650. But since then, I have not seen any. Yeah, they still have Lego on their website, but it's definitely not for sale. So that actually seems like the prices are all marked up. So I don't know what's up with that. But Matt from Off by a Stud says, or shows all the sales, says John Powell. Very cool. Yeah, AliExpress is definitely where you'd find a lot of the knockoff sets. Probably a lot of them. Then the vendors are kind of weird, you know. That's the one where I said, you know, if you're gonna buy a set through them, be prepared. So be interesting. If the ones you've ordered, the UCS Death Star that you ordered, Mage, how long did it take for you to get that? Let me look at Mars Toy. How long did it take for you to order and get it shipped to you? So when I've ordered something through these alt brick vendors like AliExpress, it took a good 6 weeks. Oh, only 2 weeks for you. Wow. For me, it was a lot longer. I don't know if that's because all the international trade agreements and disagreements that have happened of late, but you know, whatever the norm is, it's definitely been a long process. And then it's like, if you miss something, the vendors are all these weird toy vendors. The store names are like a bunch of random numbers, and if you need a replacement for something, it's like, well, I don't want to wait another 6 weeks for something. I don't even know if I'll get the replacement pieces. Any set I've gotten through them has definitely been missing pieces. So looking at Mars Toy here, looks like they got their own type of, I think, their own designs as well. Like this fortress build, this looks cool. This looks like something that they do themselves. The Sierra Madre Fortress. That's pretty cool, Mage. I didn't know that. Another brick vendor to check out. But some pretty cool looking builds. $81 for that set. I don't know the quality of the bricks are. So, all right, I'm on Mars Toy. Let me look up the Titanic. So if you found the UCS Millennium Falcon, do they have the Titanic? Not coming up, just a truck. So they don't have that one. They got mock pieces, mock parts, worldwide shipping. They got some cool looking builds though, but that one is not one of them. Bummer. So they got mock ideas, mock scenes, brick kits, brick packs. Or maybe I just didn't look it up right. Let me try the UCS Millennium Falcon. So you said that's where you got yours, through Mars Toy. UCS Death Star. We've got it pictured here. No prices though. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. It just has it here, but I can't find a price for it. So maybe it's sold out through them. So another vendor to check out. Maybe get some detail. So 2 weeks, flat 14 days, says Mage. You have to do it, I guess. I'm not sure what you're saying. 70840 would be 04807. You have to do it. Oh, do the number backwards with M in front, so 7840 would be M04807. So yeah, they have like a search bar, but you have to actually be pretty specific with the product number. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't, I don't know. And then when I look at Bricklink, I was like seeing, well, you know, some people, you know, they have their buyer's remorse, and then they sell their they sell their sets because, you know, I just overspent or whatever. Some people sell their sets, or maybe I guess through Bricklink it's also just a vendor. But Bricklink, hey, it's back, man. It was like it was down for like 2 days. But let me see. I'm gonna look up the Titanic and see if there's any decent. Oh my gosh, how do you? If there's any decent like sale price for this set, since there's no minifigures. In the world, there it is. So some people are selling it for $400. Okay. I wonder, like that can't really be, I imagine that can't be a partial price. Like, although it's people from overseas selling it. So I don't know if I would even bother to order from people that I don't even know if they can ship it to me. So there's a couple people in Hong Kong that are selling it for $400, $431. That would be sweet, but I'm pretty sure if I order from there, I don't even know if it could be shipped. So really, that Titanic's been out since 2021. That doesn't seem right. I didn't realize it was already a 5-year-old set. I feel like I just saw that on display in the Lego store when it was new. But what do you know? So if you just joined the live stream, I know I've been talking about a lot of random things, but we are building 71814, the Tournament Temple City, 3,489 pieces. These sets, if you get back into Lego, I think as a grown-up, dare I say, the adult fan of Lego acronym, I just don't like that acronym. So if you just like Lego, you know, you've gotten back into Lego because your kids like Lego and you like building it with them, then these are the sets I have found to be the most appealing, the most fun to build. Yeah, there's a lot of cool small sets, but I just love building modular structure sets, and then like obviously big model pieces, which is kind of what they are. Like the Titanic would be a fun one. It would be fun as you know, as you add to your Lego collection, you know, then you want to get more and more of a challenging build. So, or just, you know, something that's on the extreme side of things, like meaning piece count and the overall size of a set. So like a set that's over 5,000 pieces is pretty is pretty cool to have in your collection. And I haven't, what am I doing here? There's another, how am I missing? I'm skipping stuff here. I just don't notice. Okay. I have not built any set that big. Like the Rivendell, I thought was close to 7,000, but I think it's more like 5,000 pieces. I looked this up yesterday, but now I want to know again. But yeah, in that one, I did not build alone. My younger son did the lion's share of that build, and he loved it. It was awesome. He basically went out and said, my favorite theme, I thought it was Star Wars, but I think it's Lord of the Rings. Oh, it's close, 6,167 pieces. So the Rivendell set is pretty awesome. I think that when they come out with this set right here, this is an awesome build. Here I am showing a picture of it, but we have it built up. It's just not in this, it's not on this table. It's on a different room. I'll have to stream from that room again, the original room. But yeah, I just haven't had that full experience of building a giant Lego set. So I know some of you guys have, and Mage is saying he loves the UCS Death Star. That's what, did that one make the 10,000 count, 10,000 piece count? I feel like it just came below. let me see. What was that one? Was like, I thought that one was 10,000 pieces, but I think maybe 9,023. Okay, so that one's a little bit, just a few pieces less than the Titanic. So yeah, something on that scale of a build, 81 bags, 81 bags to build a set that big. Fun experience. If you don't, some people say, I don't have the patience to build a Lego set, and then of course I don't have the patience to build something that's thousands of pieces. It's like, yeah, then that's probably a tell sign that this is not the pastime for you. But for me, for a lot of people, it's just, I just like the process. I like looking at the whole thing come together, literally piece by piece. And there are obviously some times where there's I don't know, awkward points where you gotta like hold the set upside down, but this thing's so solidly built. It looks really good. I would not be able to come up with a design like this. Even collecting Lego for a while. I mean, I could, I guess if I had to, forced to come up with something. But yeah, my sons do a really good job coming up with their own designs. But for me, part of the brick therapy part is just experiencing the build and enjoying the process. And yeah, just seeing these cool, these cool designs that you get to put together, and you get to own, put on display, and you get all these cool minifigures, 13 minifigures here. Just so much fun. This is why, it also becomes like a hobby you just can't let go of. So John Powell, I guess we'll see how you are with your determination not to add to the collection this year. Aside from the fact that you use your insider points for the upscale minifigure. John Powell says, still haven't built Rivendell either. Oh, well then you've got some sets that really, that set needs to be built, John Powell. I know that one in the box. Those are some sets, like when I got any of these big sets, it's so cool to have it. And then it's like, I don't want to open the box. I just love the fact that I have it and it's new, or what. However, you get kind of sentimental. I don't know. There's something about it. Like when I got the first Ninjago City modular, I had that thing in the box for months. Just didn't want to open it. Had nothing to do with like, oh, I'm going to collect it and leave it in the box. That way it'll go up in value. That wasn't part of the consideration. But yeah, once I open the box, it's like, oh, it's kind of that last part where you're like, you get this, I don't know, fine meal, something you've been looking forward to, and you don't want it to come to an end. It's like you open the box and then you build it. You're gonna, basically finish up something that you've had for a while and just been looking forward to having and all that stuff. So it is kind of hard sometimes. I don't know if that's your thought or experience, John Powell, but yeah, Rivendell, kind of the same thing. I had that in the box for over a year, and I'm like, all right, guess it's time to build it. So we did. Hey, Tavaya, Liam, welcome you guys. Good to see you here. Leave a like. We're at 10 likes. That's fun. That's good. I'm always happy when I get to double-digit likes. So happy about that. Liam says, good day, beautiful people. We are talking about the big sets. This might be another reason why, I remember when I got the Voltron set. That was obviously based on a fan design, but such a cool 1980s cartoon and everything, but such a fun build. Let me see if I can find it. This is where I was like, I want to experience this whole build by myself and, not share it, because my kids, especially when I got it, they were really small at the time and they wanted to build everything I built. which was, of course, so cool. But this was one I'm like, I don't know if I want you guys to build this one or not. Here it is, set 21311. This was a set I got when it was released, based on the Voltron character and cartoon from the 80s, which I don't think the original storyline had anything similar to the actual storyline in Japan, but it was modified for the US anyway. That cartoon, obviously, and then another nostalgia set, and that made me think. After I had first discovered AliExpress, I'm like, maybe I'll get the AliExpress version of Voltron and leave the Lego one alone, and just have the AliExpress one get built, pieces get lost, whatever, and know that I have the real set, but not put it to use, which is kind of funny. Now I'm thinking that, like, yeah, Rivendell, that might be something like, I'll leave that one alone and just build the knockoff version. It's interesting what you think through when you have your collection. John Powell says, I'm still taking apart sets. Ah, yes, you were working on several of those. Got to make room. That's the other trade-off. Tavaya says, I built something like the dragon in this set. Ah, Tavaya, so you built something like this one, huh? So it is a dragon. I was saying more of a griffin. But yeah, it's a cool build. So you built something like this guy. That's really good. I think the hard part with trying to build a set like this on your own, if you don't have the pieces, is the actual headpiece, which is a printed piece, but a very cool looking one. Those usually don't end up in your collection unless you buy a Ninjago set specifically. So, yeah, all these big sets, they're so cool. And especially the ones that, I don't even think that Voltron set was out very long. I think it got retired pretty quickly, but man, was that a cool set. And that was where I bought that set and realized after the fact, like, I didn't get anything for that purchase. Meaning I bought that set, I didn't think about the strategy, wasn't like fully strategic in my Lego purchasing yet. Like, oh, I should have bought it and gotten double insider points or waited for a gift of purchase. I just bought it outright. And like, anytime you buy a big Lego purchase, especially through lego.com, make sure you get something for it. I mean, they incentivize all those things. So get a gift of purchase or double insider points or something, because that really, it just seems like a must now. I've had Rivendell sitting in the box since it first came out, says John Powell. So that's at least, is it 2022 when that was released? 2022, I think. Bardoor came out in 2024. Or maybe 2023. I feel like it was released, 4 years ago. Maybe not. But yeah, that was in the box for a while. So yeah, in any case, John Powell, you've had it in your backlog. Liam says, I need that Voltron set. Such a good set. I know, Liam. That one did not last long. I love that build. The only thing I wish it had was minifigs, like the pilots, the characters that were in the cartoon, but it's just the build. But the build is so cool, because if you know the story of this guy right here, it's like, you can tell, forms a big robot, but you can take the arms and legs and the full torso and everything, and the forms, the lions, which is got the instructions there, you can tell. And the lions, so it can be basically in two forms, 5 lions or the giant mech robot. Those Japanese creators and animators are so good with that kind of genre of builds. I know there's a name for it, but I can't think of it. So yeah, Liam, I agree with you. The moment you open the box, it starts collecting dust. There's that too, right? You don't want to ruin the newness of it. I guess that's another point, yeah. I display for 1 year, then pack it back up. got a good rotation there, Liam. I need to do that with some of these sets. Although I like to leave Daily Bugle up because it's a skyscraper. Although it'd be fun to rebuild again. That one, kind of like Avengers Tower, I would imagine, just big panel pieces. But yeah, the Voltron one, definitely a fun build. John Powell says, I'm taking apart the UCS AT-AT right now. And Liam says, yeah, 2022. Oh, which one, Liam? Is that Voltron or the Rivendell? The Voltron I don't think was out very long. I want to say maybe less than a year, maybe a year. Liam says, and I'll form the head. There you go. There's the Voltron. The Voltron cartoon line. Good cartoons, good shows from the 80s. I was in pleasant shock and surprise, if you could say that, or just pleasant disbelief when they show what's that YouTube channel? The guys that kind of like, Beyond the Brick. I was gonna say they're kind of like news reporters, but yeah, I think they're the ones that I watched on their channel. They interviewed a guy who designed the Voltron, like his own fan design, and then somehow submitted it to Lego, and then it eventually became an idea set. But I was like, oh, Voltron for sure. I remember that set I remember that cartoon, that whole story as a kid. They are going to turn that into a Lego set, and I had just gotten back into Lego. I was like, that is a must-have. And when it was released, man, oh gosh, that was one of those sets. Order day one for sure. Order day one for sure. So we've got bag 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've got this very cool, I'm not gonna look it up. I know I can find out where exactly this belongs, but we got a lot of, you can tell there's gonna be a lot of layering of gray kind of stone, slope pieces to give it this outward effect, which I think is all this right here to the mouth of a cave, to the temple of the Temple Tournament City. So yeah, definitely cool. And I think for this set, to avoid 32 live streams of the same thing, I'm gonna have to build some of this up on my own. More of an Ultraman person, says John Powell. Oh, John Powell, too bad. Voltron was pretty sweet. They had 2 Voltrons from what I remember as a kid. They had the Lions version, the 5 Lions, but they also had I think they had the 2 cartoons going on parallel, but there was another one where it was it was like 3 different, like, how would you call them, like squadrons. Like there was an air team, a land team, and a like sea team, an underwater sea team. And anyways, all those different crafts of each squadron formed into big ships, and then those 3 big ships formed into a Voltron also. So yeah, just good memories. I'm too old for Voltron, says John Powell. Yeah, that was definitely an 80s thing. I think just prior to that was G-Force. So I don't know if you were too old for that one too. I think that one came out in the 70s. And then that kind of led into the American experience or exposure to all the anime stuff. Hey, Landon's room. Welcome back. Didn't you start out the live stream with us, Landon? I thought I saw you earlier. Yeah, you're back, and now you're back again. Landon just making sure he's here. All right, let's add just a little bit of the layering to bag 5. Although, no, it's giving me some more Technic pieces. Well, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens here. I thought we're getting the more stone pieces, but bag 5 it is. I definitely have to build some of this. I don't have to. This is all for fun. But I should build some more of this, like at a faster pace offline, and then, I don't know, skip ahead so that the live streams aren't like, and now live stream part 35. Although, whatever, man. It's just building Lego. It's fun. and it's good to like just talk with you guys as we catch up on all these what would you call it, my night owls live streams. Okay, we're getting some cantilever kind of pin snot pieces, all the semi-accurate Lego terminology here. But yeah, I had some cool, or if you grew up in the 80s, as if you were a kid in the 80s, you had some cool options for just stories and cartoons. And then to see, of course, Lego jump on that. And then when Lego, of course, did the Transformers, the Soundwave Transformer was definitely a favorite as a kid. I don't know why though. I'm just not into the Lego one as much as if it was Optimus Prime. That was like the coolest looking one. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think the Soundwave is a cool looking build. So I'll have to again revisit the wish list. But it's got to be, you know, if I had funds to only get one thing for 2026, it wouldn't be a 2026 set. It would definitely be the Titanic. Would love to have a, dude, I hate when that happens. Flick the Lego piece, it goes flying somewhere else. So yeah, just a lot. Too old for Voltron, John Powell says. Gotta remember, I graduated in 83. Oh, and then you served in the Army in 84. Okay, John Powell. Yeah, no rush. Okay, so yeah, so you graduated high school in 83. Yeah, Voltron, I don't think that you're like, if you were already in the Army a year later, then yeah, Voltron came out in, well, I remember as a kid being on TV like around 85 or 86 and so on. But G-Force, I remember that as something on TV when I was a lot younger. But that was like the 70s apparently. I didn't realize that. But yeah, all those I don't know, early anime. It's not necessarily anime, but definitely those Japanese kind of Godzilla. I don't know what those stories are, what that theme was back then. It's not manga, but yeah, if you're into all that stuff, it was something in the similar line. Oh yeah, the GoBots. I remember that one too, Liam. Those kind of preceded Transformers, I thought, because I confused the two, and then obviously figured out because the GoBots were a little bit smaller. But yeah, that was a cool series of toys and everything. Let's see. Hey, Taurus, welcome. Taurus says, I have an unfinished set of one of the newest Ninjago series, but I'm missing one piece that won't let me finish the dragon. Oh, that's frustrating. Is it? Well, you said it's like this one. It's got to be, gosh, if you're missing something, well, what would be some key pieces? Obviously, the headpiece would be pretty annoying if you're missing that. But you can, Taurus, you can obviously email Lego and tell them you're missing a piece, and they will replace it for you. Does take, sometimes it takes a little while, but they do send you a piece that's missing. I've done it like a couple times, and usually within, I don't know, a week or so, week and a half, or maybe you've done that. But yeah, hopefully you get that sorted out, man, because that is annoying when you're trying to finish something. And also it's like, was the piece really missing? Did I drop it somewhere? I don't think they've ever asked about that. One of the craziest things, actually, that you mentioned that is I ordered a Lego Ninjago set, and they sent me a Monkey Kid set instead. Like totally messed up the order, and wrote them about that. And I'm like, what do I do? I have to return this now. Can I just take it back to a Lego store and get the set I originally ordered? How does this work? And they sent me, or they asked for proof of purchase and all that. So I sent them all that. They asked for a picture of the box, like the original shipping box and all that. So I sent them a picture of all that. Be careful, especially you don't throw anything away, because you might make sure you get what you ordered. And then they sent me the original set I ordered and let me keep the other one. Because they said, oh, or I said, I got the replacement set, thanks so much. And what do I do about the Monkey Kid set? And they said, don't worry about it. We'll let you know. And I don't know, they never contacted me back again about it. So that was kind of strange. I'm like, did they just give me a free Lego set? It wasn't a big one, but it was still like a $40 set or something like that. But yeah, no complaints. And I think they even gave me insider points for all the confusion. It was like, thanks Lego. That was kind of cool. Yasser, welcome back, Yasser. What were you like in the 90s? I was younger. I was in high school. Liam says, Taurus, isn't that annoying? Free set, says Yasser. Yeah, that was a fluke. That's only happened once, but I was very impressed with Lego customer service because I did not expect that. But yeah, it was basically like, don't worry about it. We sent you the replacement set, and I don't know, maybe it's not worth them to like have it get shipped back, and now it's a open set or whatever. I didn't open it, but I don't know if they have to like qualify it as open or something, so it wasn't worth their time. But I thought that was really nice. And then there's been times where like I've just had good experience with customer service. So all that to say, Taurus, yeah, check and tell them. You can do that all through email. Just tell them like, hey, I'm missing a piece. This is the set number, and they've been good about replacing stuff. I'm sure people try to like get away with things like, hey, I'm missing a minifigure or something like that. I don't know if they will replace those. I'm sure they have your purchase history. They can tell, obviously, this is definitely a dedicated customer. They've purchased a lot from us, so obviously we're willing to work with them and get them what they should have paid or ordered and should have. I got some Technic pieces, lots of cool color there. And let's see, can we tell now? Where would a Technic part like this go that makes it mechanical? I know with a lot of these Ninjago sets, there's a lot of trap doors and kind of fun effects, like the Dragon Stone Rising Temple back there. There's some cool features there. I should put these next to each other once I finish it. But let me just see this. I guess this just is a partial assembly so far. It's almost like a drawbridge going on here. But yeah, with Lego customer service, pretty good experience with them. Nothing too crazy. I did have a weird, where does this go? I did have a weird time with getting my Lego account. At one point it didn't match up or something, but other than that, yeah, they've been good with like anything that they've needed done, especially for missing pieces. But yeah, getting that one set, that was like, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's the one part that pay all this quality money for their sets, they should have good customer service. I always tell people, if you're missing a piece, it's in the packaging or on the floor, grab a flashlight and start searching. That could be the case. I know it's happened at least 2 times. One time, that's exactly what happened, John Powell. Like, we found the piece later on. And when you open a bag, like, especially like when you have a lot of small pieces, sometimes they get caught in the corner and they don't empty out exactly. So I double check the bags a lot. I found several pieces lingering in the bag, which would be a bummer. You don't want to throw that away and then throw away a Lego piece. So that's something to check too. So yeah, good advice, John Powell, especially if you're like, I can't finish what I'm building here. definitely give everything a double take. Give everything a double take, and sure that piece, that missing piece, which right now I'm looking for one. Also, can't find it. It'll show up. I think, yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember what it was. I know we got that Sesame Street set a while back. That was one where I sent into Lego and they gave you the whatever the missing pieces were. Nothing exciting, like simply like a couple pieces like this or whatever. So yeah. Oh, there it is. I already had it ready to go. So fun there. Okay, let's stop there. It's a good kind of stopping point. The tournament Temple City is coming together. We got a little fire pit here, maybe a cooking spit there, and we'll see where this goes. We've got Wildfire on her dragon. We've got Aaron hooked up to the dragon. We got Mr. Pale and his little hot air balloon or blimp thing, which to me looks like a Studio Ghibli. So you guys have a good evening. John Powell says, yeah, every time I was missing a piece, it turned out to be me and I found it. Let's go. Lost and now I'm found. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon.